Welcome to Jump Shots from the Goal Line. I'm your host, Jonathan Dugan, joined as always by Mr. John Henningsen and the man himself, the man of the hour, the man that he might be a little sad today, Ben Crownover. Ben, you had a good gambling weekend. What else happened?
Iowa got jobbed. That was pretty rough.
Yeah. He's on the fast track to losing that job.
The under is this? Did you change the title of the just now? Did you just do that, or was that the title before I came in here? Like, I don't like the title of this podcast right now. I'm not. I told you I wasn't even gonna hop on this week if they lost, and they lost. No, Iowa was screwed over. UNC went down. Lots of other important news in the college football world besides just my heartbreak. But I guess we'll, if you want to see me like do soggy sorrows or some shit, like get all sad or whatever, like it's just not gonna happen. Like that was yesterday. Yesterday, I literally didn't want to exist in the outside world. I've watched a lot of film analysis. I'm starting to get on the fire Mike Yursich train.
Okay.
New development. Yeah. I was wondering.
New development.
New development. Okay.
I really like the offensive coordinator, and now I'm starting to think he's actually part of the problem. I doubt very much that Drew Lar is actually the savior I thought he once was. I think Sean Clifford was better than we ever realized.
I'm sorry I'm laughing right now, by the way. I'm not laughing at you.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
It's one of those things where, dude, you were up here last week. Sean Clifford's a bozo, best defense in the world. And like
the defense did look good. The defense did look good,
by the way. Like I was pulling for you. I was in the foxhole with you. But this is tough.
What I got Maserati Marved to death the entire broadcast. Like, dude, like I can't picture like a worse hell on earth than just listening to that broadcast team just like Maserati Marv. Like, it's like, dude, shut up. There was a really funny tweet though. There was like the existence of Maserati Marv implies the existence of Honda McCord, which I thought was pretty good.
That's good. Yeah.
I
thought that's good. I was like, yeah, it's Cars universe, But I don't know. What do you want me to say?
What do you think of those? What do you think of those hats they're wearing, the coaching staff?
See, I thought about it. It's like it
had me very suspect early. I was like, that's not the look I wanted to see, guys. It's not the look. I'm not saying it's even terrible, but it was like, it doesn't even really look like Penn State proper. That looks like they're trying too hard today, and that makes me nervous.
It's the Jack Del Rio suit on the sideline in Jacksonville, and you're just like, this doesn't really click. It's like, we got a suburban dad wearing like a hat he found at Lids. Like, why are we doing that? No, I didn't like the hats. Didn't really like anything that happened. The true like depression set in when they called the defensive holding on the fumble 6, and I just was like, this is not how those days go that you have that are happy.
Yeah.
When the happiness you have and you experience, like, throw the flag sign up faster. Like, don't let him get in the end zone and like be celebrating and then throw it up. Like,
your shirt's already off. Yeah, like you're like I have to put my shirt back on now. This is ridiculous.
I'm scaring my dog. Yeah, like screaming top of my lungs, and it's like, oh no, wait, maybe it's just like a block in the back on the return, and it's like, oh no, it's in the area of the secondary, and I'm like, oh god, no, like please, like what? And then I was like, maybe they did like a pick route or something. I don't know. And like that was like probably as high as I could have been in that exact moment. And then it just went the other direction. And then they called that stupid, like soft, unnecessary roughness. on basically on Kobe King, like pushing the guy down, and I'm like, didn't make a difference. It was a yard, but it just like from that moment on, it didn't seem like anything was going to go well. I watched some really great film analysis of all of the 16 third downs we didn't convert. And
16, goddamn.
yeah, they converted one. They converted one the entire game. I should have known. I literally came in here and I talked about defense and defense and defense and defense and defense. I didn't really talk about the offense because I just assumed they would be halfway competent. Because if they could do, like, Iowa's a really great defense. I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
If they could score 30 plus on Iowa, I wasn't super concerned about what they would do against Ohio State. And the weird thing was, like, they didn't even try to run that ball that much. When they did, it was at the wrong time. It'd be like 3rd and 6, and they're like, well, let's try running it this time because we fucked up all the other third downs. It's like, no, that one actually you probably should have passed, and like you should have ran the 3rd and 2 that you passed instead. And it was like the whole game sucked. The whole game sucked. My weekend sucked. If Iowa didn't get jobbed on that punt return, I actually had like an incredible weekend gambling.
So this is like the trust circle, right? Like,
yeah,
this is boys club.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Ben. I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the Penn State game, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I thought for sure that game would be like more closer to prime time. I woke up and my wife, in pure wife fashion, had me cleaning the house.
Apple picking at Apple Annie's.
No, had me clean the house. She's 6.5 months pregnant, so she doesn't really do it. And then I get done cleaning the house. I'm on my way to the grocery store, and I look at my phone, and the game's over. And I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, oh, my God. And that's when I shot you the text, like, hey, just courtesy check. Are you okay? So with that in mind, and Henny, you can jump in, too, from, like, an outside perspective. You keep mentioning all the things that could have gone better, but, like, if we're just going to do brass tacks, what the fuck happened?
Offense sucked.
Yeah, that's not a good offense.
Nope. They've been able to move the ball.
I don't even think I need to learn how to say his name. He can't complete 50% of his passes, and I was worried about him when I watched him earlier in the year, and I would sum it up as I'm not sure. It's whether it's the offense or him or whatever, it's not happening. Like whether it's the like as you mentioned, maybe it's the OC, maybe it's the quarterback. Something's not right there.
Like it's kind of like whenever everybody's like, well, dude, DJ Uiagalelei is going to figure it out at some point, right?
Yeah.
And it's like he just didn't at Clemson. And now he's actually good elsewhere. Like I feel like I'm in that like nightmare scenario where it's like I don't know if it's him, I don't know if it's the OC, I don't know if it's just schematic like differences of like top elite programs versus what Penn State is. But I'll be honest, they haven't had a good offensive coordinator in my opinion since Joe Moorhead. Back whenever you'd have Trace McSorley like throwing the deep bomb and then hitting the home run and shit like all that. That was the dopest. That was the time to be alive.
I did have my brothers going like texting me going, hey, LR sucks, doesn't he? I don't remember a guy being this hype since Trace McSorley. I remember them trying to shove that down my throat. So that's the second McSorley reference of the weekend for me, or as we round it out here. And that's not just take a shot at you, but I mean, I know, but hey, but we get used to this on the wet, like so, like the same way you like to trash the pack. Like we hear about these Big Ten guys, and we're like, when are you guys winning? We're just talking about Ohio State again, and here we are. I mean, I will say, are we back to just the Big Ten's absolute trash, and we're just talking about two schools again?
I think honestly, Michigan's going to kill them. I think this is a down Ohio. Like they're still a good Ohio State team, but like I would agree. If you could have sensed the amount of just like disdain and frustration in the Penn State football community around
sick. Yeah.
Around just like how deflating this loss was.
Yeah.
It's been 7 years since they beat Ohio State.
And is that indicative of Franklin, by the way? Like, do we need to have a conversation?
Ryan Day's lost like 3 games in the last like 6 years. So it's kind of indicative for everybody. But it's like if you want to beat them, and in theory you should, then like that is your measuring stick. Like his record against top 10 teams is really no different than like 99% of coaches. The difference is just he keeps he wants us, he wants Penn State to be like, oh, like give your NIL money, do this, look at all this investments we're doing here, like we're getting there, and it's like this is the year. It's like, dude, everybody spoon-fed me shit all year. It's like, hey, this is the time, this is when we do it. And Ohio State looked more beatable than they've looked in years. And Penn State's defense played well enough to win that game. Their special teams played well enough to win that game. The offense destroyed, absolutely destroyed, like the any chance they had. So I don't know. I don't know where
Riley
you
will
go
be
from
looking
here.
for a job soon.
Yeah. I don't.
Alex
Dude,
Grinch,
honestly,
too.
like I don't know where they go from here. Like it's not good. Like
The thing is, it's a good program. I don't know what you do either. Like Franklin's
Yeah,
running a good program. Like it is a good program. Like
A lot of
I know it's
hype.
not, it's like it's this close, obviously, and then it sucks to lose to Ohio State every year, and it just sucks. But
we'll do
tough.
10-2. So here's what's gonna happen. There's literally all these cycles now. It's like win New Year's Six Bowl, get hyped as hell for the next year. It's like start 6-0, lose to Ohio State and Michigan, win out, go to New Year's Six Bowl, and then like the cycle just repeats. It's like I'm bitching about going 10-2, but it's like I'm spoiled. I want to not
You're right
be
there, yeah.
It's like, can I just be 11-1 once? Like that'd be fucking sick, Like, God.
I have two questions then. Okay. So first one, is Noah Fafita better than Drew Allar?
Dude, shut up. Shut your mouth.
No, I'm being dead serious right now.
I think it is. No, I think it's
a conversation to be had.
It's very just like, who knows, bro? Who knows?
And what I mean by that, right, is like the whole system, right? Drew Allar, number one quarterback in the nation, hyped as hell.
Yep.
Noah Fafita, 3-star quarterback, killing it right now. And it's not even so much as Noah better than Drew Allar, right? Because obviously different conferences, different circumstance. But is the whole system broken then? Because Drew Allar, to Henny's point, has not looked special all year.
So there's a bunch of things wrong. And honestly, a big part of it is if you look at those heat maps where they throw the ball, right? And it's green arc is completed, all that shit. It's they might have 4 passes to the middle of the field in 6 games.
Yeah.
That can't all be scheme, because no coach would ever be like, no, don't throw to the middle of the field ever. But it also can't all be, just Drew Allar, because it's all right, let's fucking call a play then that has the primary read over the middle of the field. Yeah. So it's there's something wrong there. I don't know if he's afraid. Maybe it's that thing where it's
8 straight week of Tampa 2, and they're like, you just can't throw there. Yeah. Why can't they only see Tampa 2?
I don't know, dude. But it's the refusal to throw in the middle of the field is probably a combination of his fear of it, coaches maybe being afraid of him, being afraid of it. I don't know. But it's somebody's just got to he's got to throw one over the middle, get it picked, and just be done with that fear of it. Because more often than not, there's going to be some actual plays to be had there. And the whole way Ohio State beat them was they shut down the boundary plays, which have worked against everybody. And so then it's well, I can't throw to the middle of the field. There's a black hole there. My players will die. And whatever. Team sucks. If Fafita throws to the middle of the field, I'm sure he's better than Drew Allar right now.
I'll give Allar credit. He was the one that even said, I suck today. I was not
That's
good.
Cool. It's cool, to see a crying 19-year-old and the coach is don't talk to me about being 1-9 against Ohio State. Fuck James Franklin sometimes, bro. Honestly, I'm just sick of him, man. He's a great recruiter. I would love for him to just once go up there and be yo, I dropped the ball, instead of being no, we're only talking about today. It's dude, you made this the thing it is. So own it.
He built up the hype for sure.
And Allar's the only one who honestly owned the shit out of it. He's yeah, I suck today. So yeah, you did, bud. Whatever. Well, we can go 11-1 if we beat Michigan and control our destiny. All likelihood it's going to be 10-2, and they're going to a New Year's Six Bowl, and being greater than the 89% of the other teams is awesome. Woo!
So that kind of answers my second question then, and it lends itself to the title of this episode. Is Penn State dead?
You can't be dead if you're 10-2. It's just you can't be like thankfully the 4-team playoff format's done. Because
I was going to say, I'm like,
sure,
I was like, playoff expansion's around the corner. Penn State's going to be in the thick of it
every year.
I mean, yeah,
they'll be in it every year. It'll be great.
There's going to be like a whole new room of torture that new doors that haven't even been opened up for Penn State yet of first round exits. You know what I mean? That's going to be the first round exits is going to be the new Ohio State. So I mean, it's all good. I mean, they're
but this year they're dead.
They could win out. You never know.
They're not dead.
Well, and that kind of lends it too, right? Like this whole Harbaugh stuff, the signal stealing and stuff.
Favorite part of the weekend by far, just anytime they're showing a crowd shot and there's like a random dude in a Michigan shirt, somebody's like, got his ass. Found him right there. That's the guy.
Yeah, I mean, could that play out, right? Like, could that hinder Michigan and maybe that helps Penn State?
I mean, the rumors of him sending a scout to like Iowa, it's like, dude, what are you even doing? Like, this is all a lot. Like, dude, don't get me wrong. I want to see Michigan crash and burn, but like, it's not going to happen. And if it is going to happen, Harbaugh is going to leave before it impacts him. So it won't do anything to him this year. Maybe McCarthy will tear his ACL. It'll be great. I don't know.
Do you honestly believe Penn State could shock the world and beat Michigan?
I would have thought that. I no longer think that. Honestly, when I think they got no shots when they win, so maybe I'm just gonna.
It's college football still. So
yeah.
Because
I mean, realistically, right? Like we look at how this weekend went. Washington looked very suspect, like almost lost to ASU, right? So the Pac-12 is not looking great unless Utah just does Utah things and storms back.
They're going to do
totally could.
Yeah, but Washington just has to win. They don't have to look good.
True, right? But there's a crack in the armor there, right?
Sure.
And they still have to play Utah. I don't know who else. They have to play Washington State too, I believe, right?
Oregon only has a road loss. Penn State only has a road loss. I mean, those teams are still in it.
Oregon has to play Utah as well. So like how you said last week, though, the Pac-12 could cannibalize itself. If you guys go out and beat Michigan, I mean, true, that might be Michigan's only loss unless they lose to Ohio State. But then maybe you guys sneak in and maybe you guys fix the offense by then.
You need it round robin is what you need. So it's like if Ohio State beats us, we beat Michigan, Michigan beats Ohio State. And then maybe something else happens. Like, truthfully, like the strength of schedule thing is actually looking pretty decent in Penn State's favor, like as that like sixth tiebreaker, which is absurd.
Nick Saban's cackling right now in a dark room, by the way.
I know. No,
he's like smoking a cigar. He's like, they'll be back.
I couldn't believe UNC lost to Virginia, though. That's such a bad loss. Like
they called that, though, dude. Remember? I mean, about Florida State, where like the ACC, like all those teams are susceptible to losing some.
Oh yeah. Usually it's Pitt though that does it. Yeah, but it's like Virginia was 1-5, like, or were they 0-5 before that? There was one loss in there somewhere, and it was either they were no longer 1-5 or whatever. But I mean, Drake May, like all they had to do was like I might feel worse for UNC fans, just because like they literally only had to beat Florida State, who was tied with Duke at half. Like, man, Vegas is so good. I didn't touch that spread, but it was like tied and then somehow still covers in the second half. Like that's such bullshit. But no, like it was. The whole thing is crazy. Like they had a chance. They just had to beat a Florida State team that's like good sometimes when they want to be not, and they blew it. USC's like I think it was Emmanuel Ocho or whatever was like, oh, like Caleb Williams should sit for the next like 6 weeks. It's like, dude, shut up. Like it's a piece of shit.
We knew this was going to happen too, though. That defense has been terrible all year, and they lost to
USC was not.
What did Whittingham call him? They're like, USC has a Heisman-winning quarterback, but
he's like, we got a pig farmer. Yeah. By the way, did you see? So obviously, like whenever the offense substitutes out, defense gets to substitute too, or whatever. So like basically anytime they were doing that, they bring a substitution in. Kyle Whittingham would purposely send in his like fattest defensive guy to like run on the field. And it was like you're talking about like a full like 30 seconds of like wasted time as like the guy's jogging on, and then like the other big boy kind of jogs off slowly, just like slowing the rhythm down of USC, dude. It was so good.
Chess, not checkers, baby.
I do wish that was like the school that was going to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Like Utah would fit in. Like they would just
well.
Yeah, like they would just be like, I just think they're like super powered Iowa. I'm like if you just like if Iowa had Samoans, like dude, like you got to be kidding me. Like it's just totally different.
Like shop, dude. They do really well. And dude, if they had Rising right now, they'd be incredible.
Utah's so good, dude. I respect that program so much. I don't want to like Utah at all. I want to hate them.
Yeah, same.
They're great.
They're just kind of those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
The Rutgers, wagon just continues rolling, boys.
I saw it, and I immediately thought of you. I was like, you know what? One game didn't go in Ben's favor, but goddamn it, if that Rutgers game did go in his favor.
I had a great gambling weekend. Like legitimately, I lost the Oregon over by half a point, which heartbreaker, but whatever. And then that backdoor from Washington State actually broke my early line parlay. But dude, it was great, dude. UCF almost beat Oklahoma. Everybody acted like that was a crazy pick. Bama, everybody and their mom was on Tennessee. It was a trap line of the week, and I didn't fall for it because Big Pod got out of the way. I don't listen to Big Pod anymore.
First of all, we had this discussion off pod. And you were trying to talk yourself into like playing at least one ACC game. And what did Big Pod tell you? Don't do it.
Are you talking about Miami money line? Because that's a green check mark right there, bud.
Yeah, but dude, this is how you get started, bud. Like this is how it starts. You get a little taste, and then you get hooked, and you're gonna be back where you were at next week.
With that coastal action, that feels good. Feels good. Those colors pop. Man, it's fun to bet on those colors out there.
You get that Miami Vice going real quick, and
I legit only had like I had a true heartbreaker that was also a 4-unit play on Penn State. And then my other 4 losses, backdoor Washington State touchdown, and over that missed by half a point. Sam Houston State lost in double overtime, but should have won. And then
so
Iowa.
Bad, by the way.
They are, but it was a fun bet. It was fun to bet on Sam Houston State on like a Wednesday. And then Iowa's like called back touchdown return, which was incredible play, by the way. Like
that was sick.
Like I think 8 dudes just kind of like didn't push him out of bounds, and then he just ran by him, and it was like that's amazing. That's what he does.
Why did he get called back? I never found out.
Oh, you didn't see? So basically, they reviewed it to see if he stepped out of bounds, and while they reviewed it, they actually determined that they felt like him waving, like, "Hey, bad punt, get away, get away." They said that was a fair catch signal, and so they
good officiating.
Then what happened? I just spent all day in like sad football Twitter. With Iowa fans, there was a lot of it going on, right? So, but like they started showing all the different times in the same game that they did that and didn't call it that, but just because it was a touchdown, they said it was an unfair advantage, and called it back. And then
didn't Bama have the same thing happen? Bama like called fair catch.
There were legitimately probably 6 different examples that like were on Twitter of like one's probably closer than Cooper DeJean's, but yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, it was a weird weekend in college football for sure.
Yep. Yeah, really weird.
That's what college football does.
That's where Ben like lives, though. Look at you, dude. Weird college football weekend, and you still make money.
It's because Big Pod got out of the way, but I bet what I knew. It worked.
That's it, man.
I went 12-5 on the week.
I say to you every week to make you determine that I'm in the way. Like, what am I saying?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't have any picks for this week yet. I haven't even looked at the slate because I was so sad. But like Penn State plays Indiana, and I know that's like a 27 and a half.
You didn't learn anything on like sad college football Twitter that you could spin into a couple bucks.
There's a lot of people talking shit on refs. There was some rumors that the refs in I think it was the Pitt Wake Forest game. There's a big scandal about the QB initiating his slide too early before the first down marker, and like them rolling in a first down and all this shit. A lot of shenanigans happening on the ACC network where no one can see it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And,
I did see ACC's visiting locker room with the you got the black and gold striping diagonal going across the whole thing. Real Vegas vibes, little noisy, little loud. Try to shake up the opposing school a little bit. Oh, what the hell's going on?
Iowa does the pink visiting locker room and all sorts of shit like that. It's, some schools just kind of have that right mentality with it. But no, I legit didn't look at lines. I will look at lines. I don't even know if there's good games because I don't feel like there's any good games for me on the horizon.
You're just dead inside right now.
I really am, dude. And like, I think Rutgers has a bye, which is gonna like fuck up my mood too. Like,
you can't even watch this shit.
I'm like, well,
Troy,
yeah. I mean,
I know Troy's off their bye. I'll be on Troy. I do know that. Yeah, I don't know that.
I do. Before I forget, want to give credit to Ben though for at least watching his team's game. So just a quick shout out to Hesse, who wants us to talk about the Jets, but just want to actually put this out publicly that we have to remind him that the Jets won. So if you're finding out from me in a text that your team won, well, we don't have to talk about your team. I just wanted to say that publicly.
Goddamn.
Like, we do not have to talk about your team if you're not even interested in your team. I don't have to be.
Yeah. So for just some story, right? Like me, Hesse, and Henny have a side group chat because us three here have a group chat as well. It's so confusing getting jump shots from the goal line group messages and like figure out which one is which.
He's also a guest of the pod, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yes.
But his Jets beat the Eagles, and he was on a lovely weekend with his lady, and he had no idea that they won. And I had to like tell him that, and he still didn't believe it. And I had to tell him to stop freaking hanging out with his girl and check the score for a minute. Be a man, you know, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, maybe blow out the candles and check the phone for a minute. Yeah.
And all week he's been giving me and Henny hell for last week not mentioning the game when he in fact didn't give a shit about his own game. So yes, Ben, we thank you for at least giving a shit about Penn State.
The slate does suck. Can confirm. You have Oregon State at Arizona.
Yeah, that goddamn right.
Upset
alert. What do you think, Ben? Huh?
Sure.
Those guys dressed like Halloween coming into Arizona Stadium.
Ohio State at Wisconsin.
Before you keep going though, Ben, I mean that like legitimately.
No, yeah, definitely could be.
Do you feel like that could be some action?
That line is at 3.5. That seems trap line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Bye week scares me though. Arizona coming off a bye week, messing up the momentum. Maybe I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, you guys are bad at bye weeks.
I think it's just one of those things where it's a young team that had.
We don't have any data on that. We were just bad for years. Like, what are we gonna say?
You lost again.
I'm like, we're like 2 in our last 30. You know, like before this year. So it's like Arizona's coming off of any kind of week before. If it was a scheduled football event, it was gonna go bad. So really hard to say.
For me, I'm thinking young team, just kicked ass, then goes into a bye week. Easy to kind of lose the momentum. Is this homecoming as well, Henny?
What's that?
Is this homecoming for Arizona?
That's a good question. I don't even know if it is homecoming or not.
I'll look it up. Get our asses kicked on homecoming games.
We've won plenty of homecoming games. I mean, we beat the hell out of UCLA on homecoming when they were highly ranked. I've seen some very lovely Actually, I think it is UCLA for homecoming again.
Okay.
I feel like we like scheduling UCLA for homecoming.
Yeah. I've seen some bad ones too, though.
This doesn't make sense. I gotta look at the data on this, but supposedly it opened at 5 and now it's down to 3.5. But when it looks at percent of bets, it's heavily on Oregon State.
Sure, naturally.
I don't know, man, but then the line should go in the other direction. The over is at 57. U of A is at a plus 160 money line.
Juicy.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I like that. I do like that.
You know that U of A has the best
plus signs.
The best single season turnaround in terms of defensive rankings in college football history.
Season's not done yet. Hold on, big dog. He might end up having some injuries and stuff. Don't jinx that. Go find someone.
No, I know. I'm not the one that put it on Twitter, but I did see that little stat line. I thought that was kind of cool. Though Arizona plays a heavy dollar package where they have a lot of DBs out there, and Oregon State has a very good running back. So I don't know.
It's gonna be that's a good game though. There's really not a lot of other good games, truthfully. Like I do think there's a good matchup in Kentucky, Tennessee.
Yep.
Two teams that just run the ball. Really ugly on the TV. Troy is at Texas State, the Colorado of I think the Sun Belt. Yeah, there's not much, honestly. Air Force at Colorado State getting 12 points, kind of like that. By the way, Service Academy unders are now 41, 10, and 1 in their last 50, 60 games. So always take the Service Academy under. I didn't take it, but that's
be a Patriot. Love America.
There's really almost nothing worth even talking about. Oregon is at Utah.
That's a good game.
Georgia's at Florida. Duke's at Louisville.
Okay. I like that game.
Oklahoma's at Kansas. Florida State's at Wake Forest. Syracuse at Virginia Tech. There's really not much here.
Putting money on Syracuse again?
Nope.
You're still swearing them off?
Part of my process. You got to trust it. Pitt's at Notre Dame. Getting 18 points. And Sam Hartman just shaved his beard off, if you haven't seen. Looking real fresh. Just mustache on that guy right now.
Little November mustache, huh?
Yeah, that's the kind of information I like to gamble on.
You need that stuff. You need to know. It's like
pancreatic cancer.
Like that's I'm telling you, man, it's the most upsetting thing to me is like when I just see that when I see the wrong uniform or the coaches in the wrong hats, like early in the day, I'm just like, oh God.
Yeah.
Like I just like that money's gone. Just burn it right now. Like you can't show up and wear if you're the Colts, the Indiana Knights uniforms. Like like I'd already put money on the Colts earlier in the week. Devastated to find this out. Yeah. Absolutely devastated to find out the Colts will be wearing a black helmet in the middle of the day.
Yeah, Henny had a great text earlier where he was hyping up the Indiana Knights once again. And Henny was first on the case where he noticed that they were wearing the Indiana Knights uniforms during the day. It's bad omen.
Yeah, guess what? A little WNBA action or something like that.
Yeah, dude, they're in the sunny part of the stadium. Like, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, it opens the roof just to blind them all.
Yeah, what is the plan here?
I do like that about the Colts. They'll always just be like, "Hey, roof's gonna be closed today." They tell you that like 7 a.m. and I'm like, perfect.
Yeah. Well, they can only open it there's a rule on it, right? They can open it 4 times a year or something. Like they think they have to do it a perfect split or something. Some weird.
That makes no sense. What's the point?
It doesn't. That make nothing. The NFL does make sense though. The NFL has a bunch of dumb uniform rules so that nobody can have fun. The NFL's stupid.
Yeah, that is.
I feel like I feel about the NFL the way Ben feels about college football right now. I have the same sad face. I just watched today and was like, I don't know. All these games are officiated poorly. I still think I hate every single quarterback. There's a couple nice little stories today, but.
Dude, it's so funny. It's like the amount of just stuff on the internet. I'm just like, hey, will the roof be open for Week 7 versus the Browns?
Yeah,
and it's like
so there's a buzz for it, man, a fervor.
People get pumped for the roof, dude. I don't know. The whole thing is bizarre.
Henny, you straight off. You're done with NFL right now. Wonder why?
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, dude, I'm watching it. Look, I watched the whole damn thing. It's just stupid. I mean, but like, I knew that was going to happen, right? Like, I didn't wake up today. I'm like, oh, we're going to whoop the Chiefs today. No, like, Andy Reid is absolutely lapping our boy who's paddling with one arm in circles in the
He's got to
freaking
get
deep
canned,
end.
right? He's got to
And
get
then, dude, I mean, yeah, you just can't go out there. He's got to be the worst. I know I said this last week, but he's got to be the worst coach in the history of football against 3rd and 15. I've never seen a team more determined to give up 3rd and 15 in my entire life. Like I'm like, oh God, we got him pinned at 3rd and 15. I'm like, we're cooked, dude.
teams
I was like, we just don't have
on purpose.
I was like, we don't have a plan for this. The entire NFL is built around getting it to 3rd and 15. The Chargers probably are like, we must give up 90% hit rate on 3rd and 15. I mean, those aren't real stats, but oh my God. And then also, I'm out on Joey Bosa. I would like to officially announce or re-announce Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa, trade him, cut him. I'm done. Another sad story. Leaked. Bosa's hurt again. We know he's hurt. Bosa's been hurt since he's been drafted. He's always hurt. I can't believe we gave him it's amazing that he got a contract. I'm just done with this guy.
Was he the one who sat out the whole year, or was that his brother? Like, which one of them sat out because of injury concerns in college?
Joey's always hurt. Nick's a racist, I think, is how I understand it. If I have my Bosa's right.
You're so right on that. Like, that is very much what it is.
Yeah.
I saw, how they announced flag football is going to be a thing for the Olympics now.
Oh yeah.
They had one of those things where it was like Nick Bosa's like sack celebration, and he's just going ham, and like Nick Bosa when he plays Nigeria in the Olympics and has 15 sacks.
Which, by the way, they're going to do women's flag football, which gives me to my shout out for my buddy who coaches the Marana girls team here. First year coaching high school. Like, it's the first year that they've had it. There's 2 teams in Southern Arizona. It's Marana and Mountain View. But he went 12-0. He's number 1 in the state.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, just showed up. Literally took a picture. The girls are all doing 12. It's their first time, so there's a lot of 21s going on and 12s. Sure. They're new at even the celebration part. But great picture of them, 12-0. They're all excited. My boy's wearing Crocs in the photo, dude.
Tough look.
I was like, I'm like, oh, dude, looking so easy. This guy, like, look how casually this guy's just crushing the competition. He's out there in Crocs, 12-0
Was he wearing socks with him?
He is. Yep, got the socks on.
Sport mode?
Sport or luxury?
I'd have to go look at analyze the pick again, but I'm pretty sure they're in sport mode. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and review, but it reminded me that he's killing the game. So 12-0 from the same coaching tree that I hail from. So proud of my guy.
You're sounding real NFL right now, having a problem with his uniform, dude.
No, I mean, I think it's a flex, dude. I mean, if you can win, like, dude, if you're 12-0, you can wear whatever you want. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, he's definitely a bucket hat type. Yeah, you can do whatever you want if you're 12-0. That's my point.
I know I'm not a bucket hat guy, just like I know I'm not a Croc guy. Because like you either like, if you can pull it off and you do some cool shit doing that, like wearing those things, like hell yeah, dude. Like that's a baller move. But if you aren't doing something cool, like it's like the fuck is wrong with them, Yeah, so I try not to bucket hat, Crocs. I won't even risk it because if I'm not cool, it's not going to play.
Yeah. I just think of that Shane Gillis joke about him wearing a bucket hat in Australia, and the Australian dog goes, "Nice hat, fatso." And he even said,
"That's kind of my thing about a bucket hat."
He's like, even before I put it on, I knew I looked stupid, but it's so true. No, that's dope though. Are you guys are you excited that like flag football is going to be part of the Olympics? I think it's going to be so dope. I think we're just going to destroy. It's going to be so sick.
See, that's what I think. And then it's going to be like some like 5'5" dude from Japan is like actually incredible with hand speed, like eye coordination. Like
I'm worried we're going to lose.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm worried we're going to get torched out there. Like I'm worried, like Japan's going to like be training for 4 years straight. Tyreek Hill thinks he's going to show up, just do cheetah stuff, and he probably will. He probably will. But
you run too fast, that flag's flying behind you. Makes
yeah,
it
but then there's
easier to
some
grab,
guy, not taking it seriously, and next thing you know, we're down 28-7. We don't even understand the rules. Like, they have the whole program figured out. Their coach is wearing Crocs. He looks super relaxed, and we're cooked, dude. I mean, I don't know. I'm not, and also I don't know that I'm really that excited about flag football.
Somebody's just gonna get decked too. Like, some NFL player is gonna go out there and just freaking destroy
Perfect,
somebody
out of retirement or what?
Who?
Perfect, out of retirement, just playing Mike. Yeah, just hovering, just
starts World War III,
just screaming. Yeah, just I'll be pulling flags, motherfucker. Yeah, just and just everybody's like, no middle. Drew Alar's quarterbacking, and he's like, nope. Yeah, no.
Oh, I love it.
He saw Kareem Jackson's hit today on Luke Musgrave, and he's like, yeah, I can't do that to my guys.
That guy has four penalties for that.
5 weeks in a row, dude. He's gotten a unnecessary roughness call, basically.
Absolutely insane.
By the way, Sean Clifford, you could read his lips. He said, "Fuck you, pussy."
You just really miss Sean Clifford.
They show it. It's like he's over near the sideline, and Sean Clifford, you don't know what you got till it's gone. You just leave paradise and put up a parking lot or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Sean Clifford might have sucked, but he had swag. So
yeah. Coming off the bench to talk shit on a starter, whatever.
Ravens gonna win the Super Bowl, though.
I was gonna say, tell me about it, dude. Just tell me about it. I was like, I know you want to talk about beating the dog shit out of this injured Lions team. So let's hear about it.
Okay, injured Lions team. Yeah, they lost a cornerback before the game. That was all they were
running back.
Oh, that running back threw for 350 and 2 touchdowns and ran.
No. The Lions running back was out.
Yeah, I was like, David Montgomery's not playing. Just to be clear.
Yeah, that's
Jameer Gibbs got his first touchdown finally.
Yeah, in garbage time. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
great job, pal. He is really fast, though. I'll give him that. He was moving. He was grease lightning out there. No, but Lamar's going to win MVP, bro. He's a special talent. You talk about those quarterbacks that just suck week in and week out. My man's looking nice. All right, he was slinging it today. Defense is nasty. They're going to make a trade. They're going to get Derrick Henry, and I'm going to just fucking lose it. They're going to break my heart, but you
really think they would make a move on Henry?
I think they are one move away, and this is what I think. I think they.
You think it's a running back when Lamar won't even share the ball?
Why should he share the ball?
He shouldn't. But why get a running back? I guess is what I'm saying.
Because they're dog shit in the red zone. To be honest with you, that's That's why they won today. They were never in the red zone. They were just out of it. They were at the 25, and he was just running around making plays and just throwing darts into the end zone. But once they get into the red zone, it's just well, it's gonna be 3, or Harbaugh's gonna make some stupid fucking call where we go for it on 4th and just shit down our pants.
Analytics, baby.
Yeah,
I have no idea how you're bad in the red zone. That makes no sense.
You've got me, pal.
You have a quarterback that every time I see him is running into the end zone.
Yeah,
and you have a tight end who's a giant target. He's a giant, very large man. He doesn't look as I don't think he looks as flexible as he used to. That's a conversation for another time. But he's a big guy.
Yeah, 2 tutties. Mark Andrews is a diabetic beast. All right, let me tell you, he doesn't need sugar.
And you told me this is the best wide receiver room in the league.
It's looking like it, dude. Zay Flowers.
He's diabetic.
Incredible. He's so much better than Quentin Johnson.
Quentin Johnson caught a 20. He caught a 20-yarder, little Mike Williams special on the sideline today. Caught it and got out of bounds as fast as he could. Love to see that. just more heart coming out of LA County there. You gotta love it, man. That's just that, man. What a great room that is. A bunch of just, dude, that wide receiver room / tight end room. So annoying.
OBJ looking refreshed after taking the last few weeks off. I don't know, man. They look incredible. All right, they look absolutely insane. Roquan Smith is a goddamn man. Patrick Queen is killing it. The D-line is looking ferocious. All right, like they look like the best team in the league. Change my mind.
I don't like this version of
All
them.
right, fade the Ravens. You heard it.
Yeah,
Last time we
actually,
got
yeah.
this speech, you know exactly what happened. The
We
Indiana
know
Knights.
it's going to happen.
Indiana
And, yeah,
Knights struck last time. So
this happens every week. I'm so out on the Ravens. They go out and they kill a 5-1 Lions team, and then I'm right back on the horse. Guess what? They play the Cardinals next week. Guess who's going to be at the game? Your boy. And we, so far this season, absolutely suck dick against bad teams. So I'm fully expecting Josh Dobbs to have 4 touchdowns in my face.
I
But
respect
be
the
so
hell out of
great.
Josh Dobbs, by the way.
I was gonna tell
Yeah.
you, if you want to get better in the red zone, just go trade for Josh Dobbs, man. He's just doing the thing. Like a 25-yard touchdown run today.
doesn't have hair, dude. He's more aerodynamic.
Dude, that's true. Good point. Alopecia an advantage. Should he be
Alopecia
tested?
is a hell of a drug, you know.
Yeah.
Dude.
Should
Him and
it be
Charlie
allowed?
Villanueva,
Yeah.
you know? No,
He,
but
dude, he's playing ball though. I seriously cannot believe how well Dobbs is playing. I mean, I know
Yeah,
they're
but
still losing every single week, but he's
talking about
competitive. He's,
sitting him,
he's
though.
like a solid quarterback.
They're talking about playing Clayton Tune instead from Houston. And I'm like, why? That's not the problem. You
No,
know?
it's no, I don't think it is either. The guy has no weapons. I mean,
He has,
No hair, no weapons.
He has Hollywood Brown, who is just 5'4". So been down that road. No,
Zay Flowers
Ravens,
has Hollywood Brown written all over him, dude.
No,
You're 3 years away from being dude, he's so tiny, and ever since,
Tell me you don't watch
can't wait.
Ravens games without telling me you don't watch Ravens games. Zay Flowers is an absolute dog, bro. He's so good. He is so fucking good.
He's getting
so much more
fast and
physical.
dog mixed up, but
he's so much more physical than Hollywood ever was without being a diva. So, nah. You wish you had the Ravens wide receiver room right now. You wish you did.
Oh, that's one thing I would not trade you for. No, I want nothing to do. I still want nothing to do with that wide receiver room. I still
maybe
don't.
tight
I mean,
end.
Xavier Flowers is solid, but
you would love
you can keep the rest there. Tight end room I trade you for.
Yeah, and our secondary, because your secondary is dog shit. Who was covering Kelsey, by the way, or at least attempting?
Nobody. No, we don't cover him. No, that's our plan against the Chiefs is wherever Kelsey is, kind of go away from that.
Yeah,
they will match up Derwin at times, but it only just feels like it. They don't really put him in man on him. They just let him touch him on the line, and then they're like, "Don't worry, we'll get there with our incredible pass rush." Joey Bosa's broken toe will drag over there, and then, dude, Patrick Mahomes it was such an easy day for him. He was just it's so ridiculously easy for him.
I feel like the Chargers play the Chiefs the same way they did 3 years ago when they had Tyreek Hill, and they're just so deathly afraid of Tyreek Hill still being on that sideline and just running past him. I think they don't know that he's on the Dolphins. I think that might be the thing. I think they don't know.
Hardman comes back from the Jets. Obviously, the Jets know how to identify talent better than anyone in the league. So they trade Hardman, and he comes over, and he's absolutely torching us. They're just the playbook's the same. He's cool. He's and then he just runs out. He's they're like Chargers haven't changed their defense either, by the way. So don't there's nothing you don't have to even watch tape, bro. Just go ahead and trot on out there, and there's a soft spot in the zone exactly where you think it's going to be. Turn around, and Mahomes will hit you. And sure enough, God, brutal.
Yeah, that's rough.
Did you like the graphic though? Yeah, they did. But did you like the graphic of it was yards per game with Taylor Swift in attendance versus not? It was pretty incredible, man. I just it was really shitty to watch him just sit in the zone because that's what Gronk used to do to the Steelers all the time, and it was really deflating. When it happens to your team, you're like, God, why don't they just figure out how to stop that one tight end? And it's you can't. Steelers won, which really should just be TJ Watt won because Kenny Pickett, that offense, Najee Harris almost had his first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, he did.
And that's
Deontay Johnson's
he was close. He was really close on that one though. Besides stepping out and falling on his face and almost fumbling the ball out of the back of the end zone, it looked good.
I've been.
He just doesn't look. He just looks really unathletic sometimes. He's really weird because He made so much sense at first, and then like now he doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
And he like hurdles people, but then he's like he's not strong, but he's strong. I don't know what Najee Harris is. He's like an enigma.
Still think Jalen Warren's better.
Well, the stats would agree. Jalen Warren averaged 5.3 yards per carry. Najee Harris 3.8. Honestly, I'm amazed Najee had 3.8. It felt like it always feels like it's 2 yards. Everything is 2 yards with him. I don't like watching the Steelers on a weekend when I'm sad. That's like a happy weekend thing. Because I wouldn't have expected them to win. I did watch Red Zone throughout the day because I had enough action going on different things. Like I needed the Seahawks to win in the late window. I wanted to see if the Rams would lose, aka the Steelers would win. So I was like, Red Zone was kind of perfect with like 4 games going on. So I got to watch a little bit more of that slot than anything else. But it's never really like, oh, whoa, dude, like wish I'd turned on the full game for the Steelers. It's like, no, I'm glad I got to do other things like clean and whatnot and not have to deal with that.
How much longer do you think it is until George Pickens just goes up into the booth and kills Matt Canada himself?
He's already a diva. He's only been in the league for like a year and a couple games. So
definitely the type of guy that would do it.
Yeah. His character issues allowed us to get him in the second in the first place, you know. So we'll see. No, dude, honestly, it's cool that the Steelers can do this, but they should not be 4-2.
I know, it doesn't make any sense.
They're
cool,
you know,
but
they lost to the 49ers. They shouldn't have lost to the Texans. They shouldn't have beat the Rams. They shouldn't do the things that they're doing.
Shouldn't beat the Ravens either. I know you left that one out on purpose, jackass.
Well, no, that team's kind of bad, so like, I wasn't really paying attention to that game that much. But no, it's cool to have like a team. You're like, oh yeah, like hey, we can win any of these games. But it also means that when you turn it on and they suck, it just hurts that much more. She's like, why did I think they were gonna do anything different? Like, I still watch the Steelers. I'm not saying I'm not a Steelers fan. This weekend was very hard for me, and I just did not want to invest myself in that game. I ended up watching it, and it was cool because in the Survivor League, somebody had the Rams, so they got to be eliminated, which was also a benefit to me because I'm now, I'm in that last little cluster of people, so I'm like rooting for those games more than anything.
You made it a lot further than you normally do.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm like 5 years in, and it's like I never made it past week 2.
But you run the damn thing.
What happens? Like I ran a NHL bracket challenge like for 3 years, and it was like the 1 year I got everybody into it, and then I won the league, and I'm like, I can't really have that.
It is a weird thing, right? Yeah, it is a weird thing.
So I want to win this, but it's like I did my time already where I lost a couple years, so I'm hoping I can win this thing.
People know you're immortal. Yeah.
It's kind of like when you run a fantasy league. That's the boat I'm in this year. Like I'm vouching for the fantasy league, and then I'm like towards the top. Like I'm doing really well, but I also feel guilty if I win because I'm like, oh, well, they're not gonna want to join next year.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
The Watts are much more likable than the Bosa's. Just to round it out where you started, like like if we're talking brother, it's like not even close.
Yeah. By the way,
it's not even close.
Nick was the one who sat out for his senior year. Joey played, so I guess
who's to say who was wrong for sitting out?
Maybe you do just have the wrong Bosa, brother. You got the one with more, wear on his tires overall.
Yeah, what would you rather have, Penny? A racist or somebody that's never available?
I think I'm going to just leave that one on the table. But the truth is, Nick's
help you win.
Yeah, like with the character guy is the better player, as we learned with Bosa, Pickens. Remember Randy Moss was like a character guy. He's fine. I don't ever know what character guy means.
I saw TikTok this
week. He was using racist hashtags. Oh man.
Yeah, it's not good. It wasn't great. His wasn't really very
aggressive one too, because if you're doing the hashtags, you're actually like trying to make sure it kind of pops up in that thread, in that
space. You're trying to get clout from it. Purpose. You're you're like part of a community then.
I saw a TikTok this weekend where this dude outside of Allegiant Stadium or whatever it's called, where the Raiders play.
Yeah,
he's like, would you rather have a team that was good every year but never won the Super Bowl, or a team full of Nick Bosa racists, but they win the Super Bowl? And I was a Mexican guy, and he's like, yeah, probably the racist one. I was like, God damn it, dude. Like, I don't know how I would answer that one. That'd be a tough look. It'd be like the longest yard.
Yeah. I mean, you don't obviously want, look, neither of those are going to be reality, but you definitely don't want, like, you can't root for a team full of racists, but when you ask like a Raider fan, you ask a Charger fan, you ask someone who's desperate at the end of their rope, you ask a Penn State fan, like, right, or like who's like been this close, you're like, I mean, how many guys did he have to kill? Like we talked about, Jim Boeheim running people over with his car, swerving right back onto the highway.
Marv, I would have been,
yeah. So like you're like, who does he kill? Is it an Ohio State fan? Like, I don't really see the harm in that. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben, that's a great question, actually. Like, if it meant that you got over the Ohio State bump, would you?
Don't give a fuck. Get him on the team, dude. If he stops Maserati Marv, I am all on board, dude. I can't.
A team full of Hitlers.
Sure. By the way, Michigan State.
Oh yeah, Michigan State. I was like, yeah.
Rough look.
Hey, they outsource their trivia, so it's not their fault. Okay, like if you outsource your trivia, you got to know that the risk of having Hitler on screen is just comes with the deal, comes with the territory. It's part of outsourcing.
The trivia question was good, but the fact that they used just a massive visual was that's a rough look in today's day.
Just leaving the door open for there's more, more Hitlers than points tweet. Like just leaving that door open
that was great.
Tough. If you score points that day, you probably escape the Hitler thing,
Is this the worst season in Michigan State football history?
No, they've been bad from time to time. But
this
is bad though. Yeah, this is bad. I mean, this one's really painful though. Like as a fan, this one's got to be
Mel Tucker. Now this,
also
suck
because they've sucked before. But
they had Larry Nassar too. Lots of bad things happen in Michigan.
Oh State, yeah. I didn't forget about Larry Nassar. That son of a bitch. Yeah, like I did not forget about that. And the fact that again, Michigan State was like, oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess I had a couple reports like how many? Like I don't know, like 500 or it's like. Yeah. We just never thought to really look into it.
Yeah, tough look all around. Don't send your kids to be Spartans, ladies and gentlemen.
Michigan State's on my list. Baylor's still on my list. Penn State finally maybe served enough time to almost offer forgiveness.
Yeah, they just need to bring the statue back out, Ben, and everything will be fine.
Yeah, I guess whatever it takes. I don't care anymore, dude. Just stop Gus Johnson
swerving his old
Maserati
right now.
Marv.
Dude, he is good though. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Gus Johnson.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's great, dude. Fucking Maserati Marv, dude. Over and over and over and over and over again. It's like the guy had like 16 catches. You don't have to say it after every single one. It loses its impact. Like you don't.
Yeah, no, it is stupid. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it is a bit much. You don't have to say it all 11 catches for all 162 yards. Now you're just rubbing it in, dude.
Yo, okay. So before we leave, though, I had a thought in my head. Who is the Final Four, like, as of right now? Like, Georgia?
Washington, Florida State, Georgia, and winner of Michigan, Ohio.
Okay. Yep.
So Georgia's winning it all.
By the way, I had a future on basically that, but it was Penn State, which fucking sucked. So I had the fun weekend of ripping up tickets, basically. It's like, should I cash this out? There's some money in it. I officially cashed out my Drew Lar Heisman future for, I think, $1.62 on an original.
That's a penny for every yard Maserati Marv had, brother. Congratulations.
God damn it.
Numerology. Maybe you created something back into the web there,
Yeah.
All right, Ben. I'm gonna give you one last like opportunity to just vent. Like if you want to just like
we shouldn't have came back to this. We were on the NFL. We were fine. We were like we could talk about NFL. But no, it's not Ben's fault. It's not your fault, Ben.
It's big pod.
I'm trying to
dude.
Big pot bullying people, backing them into a corner now. Like, oh, let's talk more about your feelings.
Yeah,
just picking at the scab.
All right, boys. Well, it was a fun weekend for 2 out of the 3. I'm glad Ben had a great gambling weekend. So if you guys are following the picks, keep doing it. Ben's kind of making his way back into it. Again, you're definitely above 500 now, right?
I'm back above 500. I was below it. I'm above it now. So
Okay. So
I'm 82 for 78, 82, 78 and 0. So
okay.
haven't had a
Yeah.
push yet this year. Been waiting for it. Eventually I'll get the push. Yeah.
So like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben just does not die. He's fighting for every inch. So make sure you're following those picks. Henny puts them out on Twitter. I think like on Wednesdays usually, maybe sometimes.
Don't pressure me, Big Pod.
When the picks come in, they go out.
Yeah.
They come. I put them out when they show up. I'm like, I don't put a. There's no. We're not a deadline group. Okay,
No.
It's not how we run our. It's not how we run this operation. We don't put people on deadlines. We don't back people into corners. We let people work how they want to work.
Yeah, Ben, I'd rather you be like surefire on your picks than feel pressure. So take your time, Buckaroo. All right, like you're making your way back. You're doing great. I hope this video doesn't get shut down for you doing that. But
I'm just pointing at Tasty's logo wherever it. I don't know.
After you buckarooed him, like I was waiting for Ben to jump through the camera and punch you right in the face. I was like, "You're gonna buckaroo him after all this."
All right, but anyway, make sure you're following us on all the socials: Twitter/X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. Make sure you're following this video while it's still up. You get to watch Ben put his sunglasses back on if you're following us on YouTube. So make sure that's a priority for you. And then make sure you hit that subscribe button on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening to this. And make sure that you are able to hear the takes every week. We do it once a week. We greatly appreciate the following and how it's grown. So make sure you just keep sharing that with friends, family, whoever. And besides that, I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Make sure that we, root Penn State on against Indiana. And hopefully I don't come in next week just pissed off that the Ravens lost to the Cardinals. So hopefully also Henny will be back on the NFL. We'll see how Herbert does this week. So
big comeback coming for the D-backs, baby. Big comeback coming for the D-backs.
Yes, that is one thing we didn't talk about today.
Got to go win 2 in Philly.
Yes.
Got to do some work.
We've done it in the past. So we just need some of that 2001 magic. We'll be right there. Rangers did tie up the series with the Astros, so there's still hope in the world that the Astros don't win another World Series. Please, God. Other than that, though, stay safe. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Suns on Tuesday.